Yolande Nell, BBC News, Jerusalem.
So let's get more wider context on this. With me is the BBC Arabic correspondent Saeed Shehata joining me. Saeed, we've been talking about this almost every morning now, but these comments now from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that the war will go on for many more months. What does this mean now for the humanitarian crisis we're seeing in Gaza?
It's unfortunate to say that because it's a repetition from the Israeli officials who carry on until they announce the achieved victory, destroying Hamas and demilitarize the area, but all of that didn't happen so far. However, the people who pay the price are civilian. More than 21,000 people were killed so far, and destruction in northern Gaza, and now the focus on central Gaza, where the airstrikes, bombardment of Al-Nusayrat and Maghazi and other camps there in the area, and people flee to this house in Rafah, and also Rafah is overwhelmed, and people, according to the UN, living in the open. There is no shelters for these people, no humanitarian aid while the bombardment is going on. On the top of that, Mr. Netanyahu saying they need to control what's called the Philadelphia Corridor, which was established according to 1979 peace treaty between Egypt and Israel as a buffer zone between Gaza Strip and Egypt. And Egypt refused that because Israel accusing Egypt that they close their eyes for the smuggling of the weapons through this area, but Egypt refusing that and denying that and rejecting these claims. So these are talks about Israel will control again the Gaza Strip after they withdrew in 2005. It's a big question because there is many problems and complication to do that. So ongoing war on Gaza will lead to more casualties, more killing, more suffering, and this, according to many countries, except US and other countries supporting Israel, need to stop and calling for ceasefire in order to look for a peaceful end for the current conflict.
Yes, and it has wider ramifications in the area, doesn't it? Because we've just seen there's been a fresh update from the US military who has said another container ship has been struck by a missile in the Red Sea. These attacks from the Iran-backed Houthi rebels on the container ship, which they presume that is backed by Israel, are just going to increase that.
It's a threat, and the Houthi declared that they will carry on the attacks on ships owned by Israel or going to Israel through the Red Sea, and this leads some companies to use another way. The other way will cost billions.
Absolutely.
Around Africa. So, and even the coalition, military coalition, was established by the American with other countries, cannot stop that. The drones, missiles, and other attacks by the Houthi is still carrying on. So the threat is there, and put pressure on the companies to use another route, and it might affect the economy, the international trade.
Absolutely, and already we've seen that several global retailers saying that their prices are going up because of the tensions that they're seeing in the Red Sea. But then there is more emphasis on the negotiations, isn't it, to somehow bring to a truce or a temporary pause. Where are we on that?
There were reports yesterday that there is another Qatari deal. They saying that they told the Israeli that the Hamas is willing to negotiate, and the negotiation will include like releasing more than 40 hostages in return for 1 month stopping, pausing fighting, and this will allow more humanitarian aid. For the Egyptian plan, still the Hamas and other factions, Jihad al-Islam and other faction from the Palestinian side, they didn't reply, as well as the Israelis. So they're waiting. So the Egyptian officials saying they are waiting the response for the concerned parties in order to move forward, because it looks the only hope to end this conflict is to have like temporary truce, not like a permanent ceasefire, because it's a hope after the Egyptian plan will carry on more than a month and a half on 3 stages. So after that, it will go talk about the permanent ceasefire. So it's a middle way between the Israeli stand not to have a permanent ceasefire because it will help Hamas to regroup, and the other one is to carry on the bombardment. So the Egyptian plan and maybe the Qatari deal, they're trying to reach a middle way in order to stop the fighting and lead more humanitarian and avoid more killing.
Saya, thank you for joining us as always and breaking it all down for us. Now,